Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Boss Battle. This is episode 56 featuring Raven Quest. We have Matt Welsh here from Raven Quest. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. I'm doing well, thanks. What an intro. That was hype. Good beat. But yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, and pleasure to be here.
Appreciate that. Ramen contains the excitement. He's just so excited over there. How you doing, Ramen?
Yo, episode 56. We in the mix with Raven Quest. Let's go. I'm pumped, as always. As always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're finally back after a little hiatus. I think we've been gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. How long has it been, Ramen?
Many years in Web3. Many years. Iterations have flown by. Updates have happened. Things have changed. Midjourney 25 is out. It's been forever, but we're back.
Midjourney 25. Hey, at least the broth is still cooking, right? It's still warm, still ready to go.
The broth is still cooking. The noodles haven't dried up. I'm ready to serve out these toppings and get this thing cooking like a spicy tonkotsu bowl of ramen. Let's do it.
Hey.
Let's do it. Let's get over the rules real quick here, and I'm going to go over them real fast. So, you got to have an A85 average or above across all bosses at the end of each round. On X, the chat will determine the score of the guess. And there will be a lightning round of questions, which is kind of like a cooldown period. And the audience will basically determine that score, by the way, the 85 or above average you need to have across all the bosses. If you get that, you win. If you don't, you lose. Matt, are you ready to play Boss Battle?
Born ready. Let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's go to boss numero uno. Whose production? My production? God dang it. And Craig is just effing up left and right, man. Craig, come on, bro. Shout outs to Siege. Happy Tuesday, gamers. What's going on, Siege, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Getting into the first question, and it says, can you tell us about the origins of Raven Quest and how it evolved from Raven Dawn's proven Web 2 success?
Hell yeah. The game started in development over 8 years ago. So it started as a Web 2 game. It was always envisioned as a Web 2 game, obviously being 8 years ago. And then in 2021, Web3 gaming started to get more popular, and we're like, this is the perfect fit for an MMORPG, especially ours. So then that's when we announced Raven Quest, that we'd have 2 titles. And then, sorry, is there a timer on this? Do I have to go fast, or am I supposed to go nice and slow?
Nah, keep cooking.
Okay, good. Sweet. And then it was 2021, Raven Quest was announced. Raven Dawn was still being built as well. We did kind of promise both communities that both games would be getting pushed the same updates, obviously being a very similar game at the core. And then Raven Dawn launched in January of 2024. It was built for like a expected 10K MAU and ended up going viral, especially in Brazil, hit over 220K monthly active users. And that taught us a ton. It gave us like a lot of community feedback. It was the ultimate play test. We got all the data, all the info, all the updates that needed to be done. And then we spent the next year and a bit adding all those updates, making all the fixes, and adding it to Raven Quest. And now here we are with the Web3 version.
And it's really crazy. I keep hearing so many success stories, especially in the Latin America region. Can you talk a little bit more about that region, like how it was like kind of like the biggest region in terms of like success for you guys?
Yeah, 100%. So it goes back to like the art style and the POV is very similar to Tibia. So obviously a lot of Brazilians love Tibia. That was like their big MMORPG. And people saw the similarities, but then saw the like modern gameplay and features that Raven Dawn had. Like it was like proper like voice actors, over like 1,000 unique voices, much more like content and different options in the game, and a lot of things that like Tibia was missing, just like little things like regional music and like the lore and the storytelling. people really loved that like fresh feel, a new launch, and then some like big media outlets and creators just like randomly picked it up. There was no like paid activations with them. They just like enjoyed the product, started playing it, started streaming it, and then it just took off like wildfire, where like everyone started hearing about it, everyone started jumping in, and yeah, next thing you know, we're like, holy shit, this game is not built for this many players. Like there are so many core issues that like were not developed for this number of players. So then we were like, okay, things need to change for this game to scale, and then that's what we started working on.
I love that. I love hearing a good success story that has like this organic grassroots growth, and that's the thing is like in gaming, like relatability is like half the battle to me. Like, yeah, you gotta have a really good badass product, but it has to be somewhat relatable. So I love hearing stories like that. The next question here says, your white paper mentions endless customization. What does that mean? That's my personal question. As a core principle, could you walk us through how the multi-archetyped system works? And what makes it unique compared to traditional class systems?
Yeah, totally. So yeah, like the multi-archetype system, it's kind of built like around old school MMOs, like those like nostalgic games that our CEO Nick, aka Niter, grew up playing and loved. Where like you just had one name in this like fantasy world that like you worked so hard to build, and then you could always like change your archetype, change your class, change how you played, but still keeping that same name that was like your hero and like you were known by. And then things started to change where people had to start like make new characters and start from scratch with their new build and their new play style. So we were like, screw it, we want to go back to like that like fun feel where you can always keep your one character. So the multi-archetype system basically works. We have 8 archetypes at the moment, and you can combine any 3 of them, and they all have like unique skill trees, unique passives, unique Raven cards that can be used on the abilities, and you can choose any 3, and then whatever 3 you choose gives you a class name. So it's like a combination. With 8 archetypes at the moment, I believe it's 56 different class possibilities, and we have 2 new archetypes coming very, very soon, which will jump that up to 120 different class options. And anytime your playstyle changes, you want to try something new, you can. It's free to level 20. After that, it costs a little bit of silver in game, and then you can make a whole new class, whole new build, and keep playing with the same character.
And like, I'm trying to think of like other games that have this kind of like system where it's like you can kind of like progress throughout the game and level up your character with your skill set. If you want to reset, you can. Is there an option to like, oh, I didn't want to do like this whole path. Let me try again and start over. Let's go over this path. Is there a way to do that in that game or no?
You can always create like a new character. It's totally like your one account has multiple character slots, so you can always make a new one if you'd like. But yeah, like the idea behind it being keeping it the same, and like there's a level system where it's like your legacy level, so it's based on like all of your game XP across like every archetype, everything, and that's like your legacy level. But then when you change, like each archetype also has a level, so the 3 main ones that you have will be like equaling your total legacy level. But then when you change to 3 new ones, they're all starting from level 1 again, which brings your level way back down. So then you can go back and you can fight like basic mobs again, go to like your favorite farming spots while still getting XP from killing the mobs, still getting silver from it, because otherwise if you're too high level you won't get anything from it. And there's kind of like some alpha in that too, where you want to get each one to like at least like level 21, because every 10 levels you get a skill point that can be used across all classes or all archetypes. So then you can now use those skill points that you got from your new 3 archetypes and put them in your main class, and then get more abilities.
To translate for you Call of Duty fans out there, it's like a prestige system, but way better. See, you guys a little translation there. I want to give a quick shout out to Damien saying Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We're one day closer to the weekend. Sorry, I'm like in weekend mode. I've been having a good time the past weekend. But let's move on to the next question here. And it says, Raven Quest features 8 different archetypes like archery, wizardry, and shadow. Which archetypes have been the most popular amongst players in the early access, and what surprising amount of combinations have you seen?
Yeah, so that's kind of like the meta's always changing, right? Like we are constantly updating this game. The game's been live since March 14th, and I believe there's already been 3 full updates pushed, if not a fourth. There was one that literally went live today. So the meta will always continue to change. Before the game launched, like in early access and like our live creator tournament in Brazil when we were down there, the meta was like Hex Warden. That was the popular one, which is wizardry, witchcraft, and protection, I believe. So that was like kind of the meta at the time. We literally had to pay creators in our live tournament not to use Hex Warden. We'll give anybody who doesn't use Hex Warden $500 just to like spice it up, make people try something new, show off some different combos. But now that the game's
Did you have any
launched,
takers for that? Like
yeah,
people were
we
taking.
did. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Labosi, one of like the best players in the game. He took us up on that. He tried something new, didn't end up panning out, but he did win the 2v2 tournament with the build he was using. And then what was I saying? And then what? Oh yeah, and then now like the meta's kind of shifted to like Shadow seems to be very very popular for PvP. So a lot of people using like a Shade Striker, I believe is the common one right now, the common class, but it's like heavily built around Shadow, and then some archery in there. So it's always changing, but right now it kind of seems like that's the meta. But again, it's like totally up to you. That's just one piece of the customization where like every character in the game should have like one element that's different, whether it's a Raven card or a profession they're working on or like whatever it is. Every character, like I would imagine, has something different.
We're going to get into balancing here in a little bit. Actually, the next question doesn't talk about balancing in terms of PvP, so I'm going to make a selfish follow-up here. When it comes to like balancing, what's your philosophy? Is it like you want the most balanced product possible, or do you rather like people just find how to play the game the way they want to and just leave it alone?
We like to leave it open. Like again, I'm not on the game dev side, so I can't speak too much on this. Like the team is over like 70 full-time staff now, so there's a full team that just works on that side, not including me. But like what I will say is that we do like obviously put things out there, start with the base. Right now people are like, okay, this is too OP, this needs to be nerfed. We take like community feedback into everything we do, and like it's a community built game where like data is collected nonstop in our Discord, on AMAs, feedback channels, everything, and then we take that into consideration for the future updates.
Awesome. Love to hear that insight. JK had a comment here. Good morning, Hadoken-sama. Good morning to you, JK, Ramen, and Sensei, and Matt. So shout out to you, JK. Love the support always being here in the chat. Let's move on to our second to last question here. And by the way, the poll is live. I will post that in the chat here in just a second. So go ahead and vote. But the question says, the game's economy is described as battle tested through Raven Dawn's release. What key economic lessons did you guys learn that shaped Raven Quest's design?
Yeah, so a big one is like the land system. So like there's community land in game. There's obviously in Raven Quest the NFT lands, which are like the open world. You'll see like the house plots just when you're running around in the world. Those are the NFT ones. But the community land that every player has in Ravencrest, where you can farm, you can make resources to craft, to sell in the market for silver, whatever you want to do with it. Originally, that was set to like a fixed number. So only like a few people could have it at a time, because how the system works is it's like all the lands are just like layered on top of each other, so everyone's basically playing on like a floor above somebody, but like you can't actually see them there. So that system was only built for a certain amount of players. And then majority of players, once like the game popped off and there wasn't enough like lands available for people to play on, most players couldn't even get community lands, so they couldn't access like 95% of the game because they couldn't make resources, they couldn't have a profession, they couldn't sell stuff on the marketplaces easily, and that was like super rough. So we learned that very quickly on like how that needs to work. But then as for like the economy itself, it's like things are always shifting. Like it's dynamic, it's player driven, so like it's based on just like natural supply and demand as the normal world is, where if everybody starts farming potatoes one day and starts selling potatoes, price of potatoes comes down, and then the first person to maybe start farming corn and putting that up there when no one else is, he can sell it super expensive until more people jump on it, price naturally comes down, and so on. So we learned that very well through Raven Dawn, and like how to make that system work. As to like the specifics, not really my forte, but yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. The content creator side of me loved what you just said because I could imagine like I make content about like, oh, so and so's making the price go down or whatever, or like just like narratives that you could build in the space
Yeah.
based off of like what's going on in the game. I think there's a lot of potential there. I don't know, but
100%. And like guilds
yeah.
especially, like there's like already, I don't even know, there's like you can go like a guild page in game and just scroll forever. There's like so many guilds. So like there's some guilds with like massive amounts of players, and like they all have lands and they can all like plan together on what they want to farm and like
Mm.
really like change the market with like that many people. So it's really cool. Like guilds can change things and how the economy works as well.
I just want to see someone create Raven Quest news where everyone, or like every week, they're getting updated on like what the prices of things are, like what's the narratives and stuff. Like,
Man, there's already
yeah.
so many community tools. It's insane, and we haven't even released the API yet. People are doing it manually. So
Mm.
there's literally full-on X accounts that are just like Raven Quest tools that they're making by like inputting all the data on their own, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, like you can like for trade packs, for example, you can put in how many items you need to put in there, what the current price is of them, and then it will calculate like how much it would cost to produce that trade pack versus how much you could get for selling it. So like if there's money in it. But yeah, these are all like just community built tools that are being developed every day. I just got sent a new one today actually on the Quest to Silver exchange in game, like the RMT side. And yeah, like it's crazy. Like the commitment and like passion people have with it, it's like so unreal to see.
That's what we love to see in Web3 gaming. We need more passion. Y'all look at my tweet last night, you would know. Let's move on to the last question here in the first boss. And it says, you offer both a free-to-play experience and a blockchain integration. How do you balance out creating token value for holders while ensuring that non-Web3 players still have a complete experience?
Yeah, so all of the Web3 elements are optional. So like that's a bit of a tough question, but it's like there are there's every option for like Web 2 and Web 3. So like Raven packs, for example, they're the exact same price versus like buying like the NFT versions with Quest versus buying the normal versions with a credit card. But there's like a clear benefit to the NFT ones being they can be traded and resold. Like if you get a legendary card, they're selling on the marketplace for crazy amounts of dollars compared to what they're purchased for. So like there's a clear benefit. So it's like kind of like trying to educate those people, like the Web 2 players, and like bringing them over to the Web 3 side. But as for like balancing, like if you invest into the game, like if you buy an NFT land, if you buy like a fort or a stronghold, you're gonna have a lot more land to plant resources. But a Web 2 player can buy a land and use it in game. And like once it's in game, it's like just set there. You don't need to interact with the wallet. You don't need to do everything in game. It's all done like kind of like a step in between where you have to like off ramp stuff to your account panel on the website, and then from there to like the marketplace, like where you want to sell stuff. So I mean, yeah, like it's tough on like how it's balanced, but at the end of the day, like Web 2 and Web 3 players can get the exact same items.
Yeah, and Web 2 and Web 3 gamers are going to have like different wants and different needs when it comes to their games too. So I guess that the balance would be more in their eyes than your eyes. As long as you're giving them the product they can play, like, it's up to them how they use it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I did want to read a couple comments here in the audience. Shout out to Mizzy. He said 1,000 yo's. What's going on, Mizzy? Good to see you in the chat.
Oh, Mizzy.
Yo, 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 yo.
And we got Daniel. I don't never how to say your last name, bro.
Daniel Droge came to play, bro.
Dio Droge. There you go. Okay. Any plans to buy or sell characters or accounts on NFTs?
Sell characters or accounts as NFTs?
Yeah, I think that's what he's asking.
Not full accounts. No, not at the moment. Right now it's more so things that you get in game. So like cosmetics, those can be, yeah, they're all NFTs. Raven cards, stuff like that. Different types of MOAs, companions, skins for your character, but not like a full account or a character itself.
Got it. All right. That's going to do it for boss number 1. We're going to do things a little different this week, Robin, because I made a little boo-boo. So at the end of boss 2,
Nice.
we're going to do the special announcement. But we're going to kick it over to Robin for the second boss. Let's get that underway.
Yo, 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 yo. That's from Mizzy.
Love it. What's up, Mizzy?
Oh, real quick, Mizzy said selling characters would be pretty fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, like it's that makes sense. Like right now we have a pretty strict rule on like not letting people use like the same account. Like we don't want any accounts just get like farmed like crazy. So it's like more so like your work, your effort put into it. So yeah, I don't know. Like that's not really my call on that front, but we'll see what comes.
So like
All right,
Elon
Robin.
would want to play this game then. I'm just kidding.
Go.
I'm just playing.
Let's go.
Ramen, I have to cut you off real quick. I thought you were gonna say something like no, don't, and then you were gonna, but you didn't say anything. You just were quiet. So okay, that didn't work how I wanted it to at all.
I wasn't going to give you the pleasure after so many episodes of that actually happening to me. You see, I'm a learning species, sir. I've been learning. Anyway,
I didn't know they give textbooks to broths and noodles.
Listen, this is 2025. I just identify as tonkotsu and spicy these days. Let's rock. Anyway, really quick, Matt, I've got a joke for you.
Let's hear it.
Why did Raven avoid the Order's rules?
Why?
Because didn't want to be spellbound by paperwork.
Oh, dad jokes.
Hey, you knew it. Yeah, I've got a whole thing. Otto's like, no, please don't dad joke this episode. I'm kidding. We're
Busy,
gonna
come back to the show, please. Busy, come back.
Yo. I see Clouds in there. Yo, we got about Clouds is over there. Yo, LFG,
What's
Matt, let's
up,
effing
Clouds?
go.
Hey, brother.
In the clouds. All right, boss number 2. Are you ready, sir?
Let's do it.
All right. Your self-balancing supply and demand system for the trade packs sounds great. Or it says fascinating. How exactly does this algorithm work to create organic market conditions, and what trends have you observed in player trading behavior?
Yeah, so again, not the best question for me. That's not really my my role here. But I will say again, it's all player driven. So if people start crafting a ton of like the same trade pack, price is naturally going to go down. And then it also depends on where you deliver them to. So if everybody's crafting one trade pack and delivering it to point A, then trade pack 1 to point A will be worth less. So like each merchant needs to be getting like the materials that they need. And if one merchant goes a long time without getting trade pack number 10, then that trade pack number 10 to that merchant will be the most valuable. So whenever you craft one, you can look at which trade post will pay you the most for that trade pack, because each one is different at each trade post. So again, just based on supply demand, whatever people are making, whatever trade post they're taking it to, that will determine the price of it.
Okay, no, that's a great answer. The next one, the fame and renown systems work together to determine quest earnings. Can you explain how these systems incentivize different play styles and prevent any one strategy from dominating?
Yeah, I mean, again, like there are better game plans than others, but renown, like you can get renown and fame from everything in game. So like if you are a guy who enjoys Rangers Company quests, then you'll get boosts for doing those. If you're someone who just likes to craft and get XP that way, you'll get fame and renown from those. So like everything that you do in game will contribute to that. Some might contribute more, like at trading like Raven or trade packs might be more. So then in that time period, like more people will be on the trade pack side and delivering those to boost their renown and get more quests. But then with a new update or something changes, then it could be something completely different where we want people now to do more PvP stuff. So now Aether Rifts are what give the most renown or fame, and then that'll be like the new meta and what people are doing to produce as much as possible.
Okay, so always cycling through to keep things, fresh and dynamic, and never really boring anybody out with one type of thing. Okay, I like that. The next question. Well, let's talk a little bit about land ownership. With 25.25% of the entire quest supply allocated to landowners, how do you ensure this creates sustainable value without creating barriers for non-landowners?
Yeah, totally. So that price actually, or that amount actually went up. What we did is when we got rid of, or we actually bought back some positions from old investors who kind of like weren't contributing to the project. Like now, the only investment money we take is like people who are going to provide some sort of utility and like support us in development and growing the game to some capacity. So we bought back some positions and actually just added that to the landowner pool as well. So I believe it's up to over 28.5% of the total Quest ecosystem is going to landowners. And I mean, that's kind of one of those things where it's like you invest in the project and like you support us that way, you will get rewarded for it. So the landowner pool exclusively for landowners, it gets dropped once a week. And I mean, yeah, like that's just a bonus of owning land. It comes with a handful of like in-game utilities right from day one when you get the land, but that being one of them. So we want to reward the landowners. They're like obviously the most invested in the project financially, and usually like in game as well, playing the most. So we want to make sure that they're taken care of, and like more bonuses and rewards and utilities will come to landowners. They're always like a focus of ours for sure.
Bringing back the power to the people. Let's go. He's like, yo, we reacquired all those, you non-interested MFers. This is only for Raven fam. I like that move. I like that.
Based.
All right. Yeah, that was some straight beast mode, right? It's like, listen, if you're just going to be here and not quest up, well then let me go ahead and take those.
I just sorry to interrupt. I just really like the part you're saying, like the gamers are also landowners and they care. Like that is a beautiful thing to hear. Beautiful thing to hear.
Man, like the most beautiful thing about it is seeing a Web 2 player, maybe someone who came from Raven Dawn or from a Web 2 streamer on Twitch, just like talking in the Discord, like, hey, like now they're not like in the landowner, like we have exclusive landowner chat in the Discord, and they're in there and they're just like, hey, I just bought my very first land, my very first NFT ever, and it's just because I love the game. I don't even care about like the price of it or like the future investment of it. I just want it to use it in game because of the value it gives, and I love the game. And seeing that like continuously, even seeing it from like farmers. I saw a tweet the other day that was like, I've been farming play to airdrops for 3 years now, and I just bought, like I invested my first ever dollar into a Web3 game, and he bought a large land, which is like 2K US, like depending on the floor. But like people investing in the project just because they love the product and they want to use the land in game, and like not worry about the actual like investment side of it.
That's the same thesis I have with me getting Pokemon cards and opening them on stream. Same thing.
Oh yeah.
For the passion.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh guy too. Like I got some.
Oh boy.
Shit. Oh shit.
Got some on
You've
here.
awakened the beast.
Yeah.
The beast.
I got
Don't make
way
me pull
too
out my
many.
cards. I don't got that many.
Oh man, I got just stacks. It's insane. I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hell yeah. So does Cloud. So does Busy. A lot of Catalyst folks love it too. So
Let's go.
we're with you.
Just on a little, I guess, like on a little bit of like a side note with that, talking about reclaiming and giving back to keep everything back towards the landowners and the reward pools. And this is just like my own kind of thing. Do you feel that that's been a huge issue with the success of like a lot of Web3 titles that have been out there? Was the lack of focus strictly on the gamer side, the core loop and mechanics, and then more of the focus on the token NFT incentivization and appealing to, I guess I would say, the whales, which it's kind of like a double-edged thing, right? Because those are the ones that also have the money, but also probably the least, have the least vested interest in actually playing the game just strictly on return. Like I want from a project's perspective, like what's your take on that? This is off the boss. I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. So short answer, I think yes. I think like if you look at our white paper, like the first words were like game first, blockchain second. We always focused on delivering a great product at the core. Hell yeah. We proved to ourselves and to the community that we have a game that people play regardless of play to earn and Web3 elements with Raven Dawn. And it was always game first. So I do think too many games focus on just like having their shot in Web3, overpaying people in like token rewards and NFT rewards, but just having like a good year, and then the economy dumps because everyone dumps their token. Whereas we are always focused on like the long-term approach. We have like 5 years of content like visioned out for RavenQuest for updates, and like it is always product first. So yes, like what you said for sure. But then obviously like the whales need to be taken care of as well. Like those are also people who help the economy a ton, bring in volume and like help support, but it cannot be pay to win. We had in our first fame pool, Raven cards were contributing to fame, which then contributed to how much quest you got out of it, and whales just like unloaded on Raven packs, like spent like thousands and thousands and thousands, got million plus fame, didn't even have to play the game very much, and we're like, boom, that's an issue. By the next week, it was done. It was gone. No more Raven cards to fame. So it has to give
Wow.
bonuses and have to be taken care of, but it can't destroy everyone else's like potential in the game.
Right. So it's, the money's good as long as there's you have a similar vision in mind, although they're not whatever part of the team or whatever. They say, hey, I like this, I like the game, and I want to see you succeed. Here's the money. That's kind of cool. We do have 2 more questions, but before I cruise over this, I want to make sure everybody gets a fair chance in the audience. We have a lot of people that showed up today to come look at the stream. It is Daniel Doge again. And I think this may be important because sometimes misinformation is all over CT. So he says, are all tokens unlocked in less than 2 years from airdrops? A whale said it would take 17 years at the current rate or something crazy. Sorry if I missed that.
Yeah, 100%. So that was a system that we added again for like sustainability of the project. It was we are here for the long haul. We don't want a game that just like rewards a ton of people, especially farmers who play the game for a little bit and then move on to the next and go farm that one and on to the next. We want to reward the people who are here long term, enjoying the game, playing it. So early on, we mentioned many times on like AMAs and the Discord that we were going to use a play to unlock system. So that way, people who got the tokens actually had to like play and again contribute to the ecosystem, play the game, support the game, and then they got their tokens unlocked faster. And then we saw some like calculations today that were a bit insane, but like based on what info they had, it made sense. So there was already been 3 announcements in the last 2 days that just saying like, hey, we hear you. This system isn't perfect. Like this is again still a work in progress. This is a system we added. It's not how we want it to be right now. We don't want to like hold the tokens longer than what we promised. Like we want you guys to actually unlock them faster than the original vest. But it needs to be updated for sure. So we've posted that, like we hear the feedback, we hear what people are saying, and we're already making the changes. It's being done as we speak, to make sure like true players are unlocking their tokens much faster than that original 20-month vest.
Awesome. So Daniel, faster the better, right? I guess that's what it all boiled down to.
Hey, play the game, and it'll unlock faster. And updates are being pushed as we speak to make sure it's like players are being taken care of.
Nice. Okay, before I get the Dave Chappelle wrap this thing up button, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next couple of questions here because I can feel Hato in the background. He's like, wrap that thing up, let's go. So the next one is Guild. I think we kind of like sort of talked about all this stuff. Guildcrest have an interesting economic model with staking and distribution mechanisms. What's the philosophy behind this design and how has it impacted guild formation and competition?
Yeah, that's a big one. So guilds in any MMORPG are huge. It's a big group of players. They're committed to the game. They grind it. They compete in PvP, and like they are a huge factor in RavenQuest. So we wanted to make sure like guilds were taken care of. And guild leaders, it's a grind to run a guild. Like it is not easy. You have like your co-leaders, but it is not an easy task. So we wanted to do a system where people had to like basically get a guild crest. Like the first one starts off the cheapest. Every one that is purchased, like the price goes up. So like that guild can't just end up having like a 10,000 people and absolutely conquer the game. Like there needs to be some sort of cap on it eventually, where now people are like, okay, this guild's too expensive to join, I'm gonna go to the next one. And then the guild leaders are getting a portion of that money because like they're the ones who are running it. That's like again the hard task of doing all that work. So we're making sure that they're taken care of, they're getting rewarded, and then the guild members are also being rewarded by like the guild fame. So it's like a whole separate drop that if you're in a guild, you get a whole separate quest pool, which is from guild fame. So yeah, you contribute to that. The more you contribute, the more you get out of it. So yeah, it supports everybody in a guild, and it sets a cap where not infinite people can just join one guild, and that guild leader is making insane money and taking all the quests from all the smaller guilds.
Kind of like make sure nobody monopolizes Raven Quest, kind of, sort of, in a way, which is cool though. I like that. I think this, because I think that's a huge thing, right? Whenever you enter ecosystems or do anything or trying to get into something and it's just overwhelming. I think that's the whole like general gist of Raven Quest, is the maximum amount of balancing while also appeasing at the same time. If I had to think of like how this is all played out, which is good because you're a fast, iterative process on making these changes. And like you said, pushing out these types of updates, typical in, Web3, it's like 6 months, 12 months for a single or maybe 2 updates. But you guys are really talking business with a 70-man push team. I still think it's bonkers, honestly, to have 70 people working on this thing. But I guess if you look at like regular studios, it's kind of the same. But usually, yeah, it's like 5, 10, or indie push of like 2 or 3.
100%. And like we've seen some or we've spoken with a lot of like the top tier Web3 games, like ones that are considered the best games, and like they have a team of 10, and we're like, how the hell? Like you guys are making a bunch of money. Like it's public, like how the game's doing. Why not invest in growing that team to like make sure like the game is the focus, and like you can always build on it. So we just the CEO Nick, he reinvests everything back into the studio. So hiring more, expanding. We're getting a physical studio very, very soon. So that'll be fun, get everybody in one place. But yeah, it's a big team. We all got to meet in Brazil in February for the first time, which was awesome. But yeah, big team, but it's able to push the content. We also do have Raven Dawn, which we're pushing. So a lot of people working on that. And then we also have Raven Idol, a new game coming very, very soon. So a team working on that. And then also future games that we have planned, like mini games within the Quest ecosystem. So it takes a lot of people to work on it all.
Please tell me you guys are going to have a studio tour when it's out.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, we will do something for sure. Like we want to do something dope though. Like we don't want to just get like a basic studio. It needs to be like a video game studio feel where like you walk in, big murals, art, like PC setups, like all that good stuff. So it'll be nice. It'll be something fun. Staff are stoked, and yeah, we'll make sure you see it.
Music to my ears.
Hell yeah.
Like he said, physical location. Love to see the IP. Waiting for the Ravens Quest dispensary because I'm trying to purchase some land packs. Get it?
Oh. Yeah. Oh,
all
God.
Right. All right. Last question, boss number 2. The effort system is described as an anti-bot measure for community land. How effective has this been in practice, and what other security measures have you implemented to protect the economy?
Yeah, for sure. So that's a big one. Like it actually pisses me off because like as a person who works a lot on the game, and like I have some lands, and actually like the NFT lands you don't need effort. You can just use silver to plant. But on the community lands, like I don't have time to go questing all the time and doing all that stuff to like gain effort. So it holds me back a bunch. Like, I don't have anything planted on my community lands right now because I have no effort. So it does force people to actually play the game. They can't just sit in their community land, farm potatoes all day, marketplace and back. It makes them like, okay, I'm out of effort. I have to go do something. You have to go do a quest. You have to go progress in the open world somewhere, and contribute in other ways. So it's a great system. Fishing is something that is being farmed heavily. So fishing with effort is also like some ideas. So yeah, a lot of things changing there. Another like anti-bot measure being to extract. Like if you wanted to take quest out, you do need a pass, similar to like off the grid. Like if you want to put stuff on the marketplace, you need to have the battle pass. So like you are putting up real money to be able to take stuff out. So we have a similar thing where you have to buy a like withdraw pass basically to withdraw a quest out of the game, which is another anti-bot measure. But yeah, there's a handful in game to like make sure it's like properly balanced. Fishing is like the biggest one right now, and literally the update today had some nerfs on it, so that'll balance it very, very soon. But yeah.
Yes, if you ain't got no skin in the game, chat, get out. Get the fuck out, all right? You got some skin in the game, then lock in. That's what I just heard.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
My God, I was going wild over here.
Hey, I'm very motivated today, and I'm very passionate about what I just heard because you could tell there's a lot of thought that went behind what he just said, right? Because like anyone can exploit anything in Web3, but like there's a lot, but you want to exploit, it's gonna cost you, right? You gotta have some skin in the game,
You gotta put something up. You gotta put something up. So yeah, that's big. And like we use anti-bot systems, we use AnyBrain, we use BattlEye, two of like the bigger ones in the world. So yeah, we do everything we can to make sure bots are taken out of the game.
Love it. Sorry to hijack the mic, Ramen. Let me let you finish your piece here. I don't want to take your thunder away.
The thunder's gone. It's already over. But speaking of thunder, that's not going to keep us from going on to the lightning round.
Well, before we do that, which is why I wanted to take over, we're going to go back to our special announcement, and Ramen, you can have the mic again. So here we go. All right, Mr. Ramen, can you please tell everybody what we just saw? What does it mean?
You already know what to do. 56 episodes of giving away my favorite priced items. It's a free badge, folks. Make sure you go in and collect your Raven's Quest collectible courtesy of RevGG. And you want to make sure that you're hanging on to this because as Mrs. always say, I can't really tell you what it's for, but it will be for something in future Catalyst ecosystem. So make sure you grab it because what's my favorite line? It's free. Literally, there's no gas. Like, grab this thing. It's dope. You're going to love the art. Show your friends, flex, and do all that. Yeah.
I'm being informed by production that I put the wrong image in the video, but I didn't because that's the one I liked more. So
wait, was it number 1 or number 2?
Everybody likes number 1 more, but I took the executive decision as a founder of Catalyst and put number 2 in the video. So
oh yeah, you messed up. It's cool.
It's better colors. I'm sorry. It's better colors. It's but the badge is out, guys. The link will be somewhere. Here's the link for the badge. Here is
Greg. Where's this production? We don't have a 70-man production team. That's a problem.
Yeah, our production team is they've been lowering each episode because for some reason, like I don't know the reasoning, but here it is, guys. There's the badge. Go pick it up. It is absolutely free. And become a collector like me. I'm a collector now, so be a collector like me. But anyways, we don't have a ad this week. As you guys have noticed, the banner might have been changed a little bit. Actually, there is no banner. What am I saying? We don't have an ad anymore, but it's all good. We're gonna keep the show going.
Foolish crypto hodl. Foolish crypto hodl. With a name like that, this guy thinks he's a crypto guru, but he's really just a shit gamer. Isn't this the guy who thinks a minimap is a requirement for a game? Fool! It doesn't surprise me that this loser quit Valorant! Don't be like him, gamers. Get Slurfy. It'll make your gaming experience over 9,000! Drink Slurfy. Enjoy the blast. Know your place, gamers! Know your place! Follow for more content! Or your...
We thought it would be a funny idea if we did our own custom ad for Slurfy, so there you go. We don't have a real ad.
Man. I don't know how you guys do that, but that is freaking awesome. I love it.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man. We're going to move on to our next segment, which is the lightning round. All right, so we're going to do the first, there's 10 of these questions here. By the way, these questions don't have any impact on your score. These are just like a cooldown period for you. So, by the way, I don't think you really need it. You're cooking. But let's just keep going. I'll do the first fire roll. We'll do the next 5. So question number 1 says, if you had to pick just one archetype to play as personally, which would it be and why?
Wizardry, because the animations are dope and it's a ton of fun.
All right, straight to the point. Next question. What's the most expensive item that has been traded on your marketplace so far?
Well, like the fort sold originally for 60K. So those.
Sheesh. 60K. Damn, ain't no joke. All right, number 3 says, show RavenQuest in your best pirate voice for 30 seconds.
Our RavenQuest is the greatest Web3 game of all time. I don't fucking know. But it's great.
Perfect, we'll take it. Most heated argument in the development team about a game feature.
Ooh, that's such a tough question. What? Oh God, I don't even know. I'm not on the game dev side, so it's tough. But on the marketing side, maybe what creators we should do collabs with.
Ooh, that's a good one. All right, last one on my side here. If you could instantly add any feature from another MMORPG to RavenQuest, what would it be?
The new WoW Battle Royale is dope. I think RavenQuest Battle Royale would be sick.
Ooh, somewhere Mizzy is just hearing, and maybe I don't know how Mizzy feels about BRs. Maybe he's seething, maybe he's also hoping. So who knows? All right, Ramen, you got the next 5.
All right. What's the rarest cosmetic item in the game right now?
Ooh, probably one of the legendary Raven cards that are very, very tough to get.
Okay. Ship combat or land-based PvP, which do you personally find more exciting?
Land PvP for sure. I get cooked on ships.
I get it. Pirate Nation, don't worry, I'm gonna get in there. But man, gotta watch out for Murdoch. You're gonna get cooked me. Most unexpected player behavior you've observed since launch?
Most unexpected. Maybe Lou just going straight for 100 Rift wins, like he had it done so fast. That's insane.
Okay, that's crazy. Best place to build your land in the current meta?
Ooh, I don't think there's a best. I put one in the new content because there's a new whole region coming to the game, and I want to be one of the first people up there with the land, so I can always tell you to it. So I'm gonna say the new continent up top right of the map.
All right. This one's gonna be fun. If your team were archetypes in RavenQuest, who would be what?
Oh God. Oh God. I would say Drew could be Shadow. I'll say Nick will be Warfare. He's always just buzzing. I will go with Witchcraft. Neos could be Holy, holds the team together. Oh God, there's too many people, too many. Yeah, there's a million staff. It would be impossible. Louise could be, what could Louise be? He could be Witchcraft. We're a good combo. Witchcraft Wizardry combo. Yeah, I'll put him there. What am I forgetting? Protection. Let's give Rhaegar protection. He's the one who locks in all that shit, makes sure everything's secure and safe. So I'll go with that.
Okay, no, those are fair. Last question. If Pixels and Ravens Quest community members got in a fight, who would win?
RavenQuest all day, baby.
Damn, that wasn't even in the questions, but yo, I just added that one in there for a little. Hey, that's
you diabolical motherfucker.
Yeah, be diabolical like that. Let's go. Anyway, that wraps it up for the lightning round, and we're going to be jumping here into boss number 3 here soon. And if you just tuned in, and you didn't vote, go vote, and it's a free cartridge. Go download that free.
Yeah, free.
Badge free.
What the hell happened to my camera?
Yo, that video was so lit, it just turned off.
Oh, damn.
No,
I like that new PFP though. That was lit.
It switched to a different camera. I don't know why it did that. That was odd. But I do have one question for the chat. What are you talking about? Marketing is witchcraft? I don't know what this means.
Hey, what did I say I was? I said I was witchcraft. Yeah, hell yeah. So we were spot on.
Oh.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
And then Louise, who's my boy, is wizardry because we're that dream team combo. So yeah, 3 Vaughn, shout out you. You're spot on, brother.
He was answering for you. Okay, I understand. I'm caught up now. I was behind. All right, first question in boss number 3 says, you mentioned AnyBrain.gg integration for anti-cheat protection in a blockchain game where real value is at stake. This is kind of dramatic. What specific changes have you faced with security that traditional games don't have to worry about?
Ooh, again, not my realm, so I probably shouldn't speak too much on it. But I do know the BattlEye team is legit. We went to Portugal to go scout out studio spaces, and they got a studio down there. So we hung out with them, went out for lunch with them. They're great, very smart, big team. Nice big studio. They gave us a tour of Braga and their studio, and they are very trustworthy when it comes to the anti-cheat stuff. But as for how we use it, not my realm. I probably shouldn't speak on it.
All right, I'm going to kick it over to Ramen for the next question.
Hey, I'm a big fan of AnyBrain, but they suck at social media. I always tag them and be like, yo, you guys are the greatest thing. Maybe you guys can, and they just can never respond. But I love how they're creating the blueprint of cheaters. So it doesn't matter where they go, they always find them. So that's what was maybe bullish on that tech. Anyway, okay, the breeding system for MOAS sounds quite, hopefully I'm saying that right, sounds quite complex. MOA. Oh, S is silent. Okay.
Or MOAs, it's just plural. But yeah, the MOAs are the mount.
Okay. Sounds quite complex with lineage and stat inheritance. How does the system prevent power creep while still rewarding long-term players?
Okay, wait, you're gonna have to say that one again. I'm confused there. One more time. Sorry.
Me too. These are community questions. Let me try this one again here. The breeding system for MOAS sounds quite complex with lineage and stat inheritance. How does the system prevent power creep while still rewarding long-term players?
That is a tough question, and I honestly don't have the answer to that one. I'm gonna stay out of that one. I don't do any MOA breeding. Yeah, unlike the NFT lands, you don't get a multiplier on MOAs, so I don't plant them on my NFT lands, and I've never done it on community land. So I'm not gonna speak on that. I don't know honestly on the dev side there.
Fair enough. We're gonna bounce to the next question back to Hado.
All right, next question says RavenQuest uses Apache superset to track every economic action. How has the data-driven approach influenced your development decisions? And can you share any surprising insights, or can you add any surprising insights you've gained?
Yeah, we do use Superset. It's awesome. It literally tracks every player's move in game, what's being done in the economy. Like if people are like fishing, for example, I mean, that one came pretty evident just in Discord. But like little things like that, where we start seeing, okay, how did this guy just make 1 million silver in X amount of time? Oh, like we go look at his account, look at what he's been doing. Okay, this is like way unbalanced. He found a little bit of a loophole and he's been farming the hell out of this, which is paying way too much. It needs to be updated ASAP. So things like that are being done every day. There's a team that looks over that stuff daily. And then they go to like the game dev side and they work on the balances and make the updates.
Alrighty. Let's move on to Ramen for the next question.
All right. Man, this one got straight to it. Why do they charge 14% royalties on land? Man, I feel like I'll set up.
No, it's a good question. So on Token Trove, it's been like that until we have our white label NFT place. So once our own marketplace is built, we will be lowering that a ton. We don't want to be making any money off of that. Really, it's like just something that's kind of as a placeholder until our white label solution is like built out on our website for players to use without having to use a third party. So once that's done, it'll be much lower. Yeah.
In-game marketplaces for the win, for sure. All right, we're going to bounce the next one back to Hado.
All right, next question here says, that is more than I pay for my... That's not even a question. Okay, the next question is a statement based off of the 14%. I don't know how this...
Oh, wait, is that the... I think that was in a tweet or something. I think they got that because that was a question, and then somebody asked that, and that was part of the tweet. Oh, I think that was Daniel Droge, actually. I can almost remember the timeline. I'm pretty sure he said something about that, about it costing more than real estate agents, title company, and loan officer.
I remember that too. I don't know how this got in here, but let's move on to the next one. Looking at the roadmap for the next 12 months, what feature or update are you personally most excited about delivering to the community?
Ooh, tough. The new dungeon system will be dope. It'll be a lot of fun. Kind of high risk, high reward. It's a good way for players to get some good like PvE content in with like a bunch of bosses. And then yeah, the further you go, the riskier it gets, the harder it gets. And if you die, you lose all your rewards, but you can choose to leave anytime. So I think that'll be fun. People, it's like the right now the rift system is super addicting. Again, it's kind of like that high stake, high reward. If you win the first rift, you can go into the second one for free, or you can back out with your rewards. But people who want to double down and go for the second win, if you lose, it is the most like adrenaline pumping thing ever. And I think this will be like a PvP aspect to it. But then of course, mobile will be awesome too. It's so many players are just waiting for mobile. It opens up another huge player base, lets you play the game on the go, farm your lands on the road. I think mobile will be awesome. And that's like, it's done. It's been play tested. Everything's ready to go. Just waiting for the right time to release it.
That's gonna
Awesome.
be crazy.
Love that. Love that. Just to give a quick shout out to Trevon. Be safe on the road there, my friend. And Damien is hyped about something. He just said hyped. So he's hyped about maybe everything.
He's hyped about Trevon driving from Seattle to Spokane. Totally get it. That's a heck of a drive.
Oh, we got some clarification. Dungeon. He's hyped about a dungeon.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
what you do on the weekends? Oh,
It'll be plenty of fun. I'm stoked for it.
All right, let's kick it off to Raman for our final question. By the way, chat, the poll is live. I'm going to throw in the poll real fast. You guys have 7 minutes until the poll closes, so please hurry and vote. Raman, the mic is yours.
the final question, boss number 3. And
Dun, dun,
all
dun.
lies in Matt's hands. All right. Many Web3 games have struggled with sustainability. How does Raven Quest tokenomics and player-driven economy address the challenges that have plagued other projects in this space?
It's a good question. Like what we're doing is very different. It's not liked by people who have been really making a lot out of the current system. So we took a very different approach. Like we have very smart advisors who've been in the space for a long time. We're obviously a Web 2 studio at the core, been in Web 3 for a bit, but like there are people who know it better than us. So we have them as advisors. They're supporting us. They know this is like brilliant guys who know this stuff super well and being like, hey man, we realize too, it's like every gaming token does the same thing and the charts are all so in the red. We just TGE'd in one of the worst times, and the token is up since TGE, which is insane right now with where the market's at. But it's like a green chart from a 60 million FDV TGE. So we're doing whatever we can to make sure this is sustainable. There's a lot of different systems in place to make sure that is happening, but like big things is just like frequent updates, going through data, like we talked about a few different things, monitoring what's happening, how players are making silver, how players are making quest, adjusting it to make sure it's balanced, and it's always going to have that long-term approach, and it's always going to have a massive team taking care of it and make sure like the updates are made ASAP.
Man, it's bonkers. Honestly, thinking about how red it's been and what the markets were like and the general sentiment of that. And you guys literally, I think I mentioned in the post, I was like, why does it feel like Raven Quest is the only one winning right now? It seems like, but I think that just goes to show, right? Because if, prices, if it's not there, then usually there's some kind of like absence of value, or it's just been, overbought by people that were looking for, quick liquidity and gains like that. So I think that's just a reflection of, the product that you've been putting out. Obviously, it's all over the freaking timeline. I got a ton of friends who are literally deep. I've seen the screenshots with like 300 people. You guys aren't just a million, air quotes, active wallets. Like I see tons and tons of actual gameplay, and it just makes for really good content. And the thing that I notice about these games, right, even though it may not sound always Web3, is I always got to look back at the games that I play right now that are in Web3, and I go, what games can I play right now that can stand on its own legs if there was no economic model or finance attached to it. And there's very few games that I play that are inside of this space where I just don't even care about it, you know? So it's hard these days to find, I think, a game that people really enjoy the core loop and enjoy the camaraderie and community and the raids and all that kind of stuff. So I think you guys did a great job.
Yeah, no, you said it very well. It's like that's another thing with it, with the economy, is it's like no Web3 games attract the same audience. They pay the same creators, they get the same audience of people who just want to farm it, and then economy ends up dumping, same as the last game. But it's like many of the games can't compete with their Web 2 competitors in the same genre, where we've proven the product is there. Web 2 players played it again, regardless of Web 3 elements. The product's there, and the Web 2 players support the economy a ton. They get quests in game. They do not care about withdrawing it, extracting it. They use it as the premium currency that it is in game for the utility, and they buy items with it, burn it up, spend it, and yeah, it's like a game that can attract these Web 2 players. Trayvon.
I don't get financial advice, but Matt will.
No. I should say no financial advice, but hell yeah.
He's like, I'm on the fence. We got to get him off of the fence. Listen, we don't encourage you to make purchases while driving from Seattle to Spokane. He's like, oh, no, never mind. I'm looking for financial advice.
Yes, not financial advice. Lock it in. Yeah, no, it's good. Like, we cleared up some people who had lands who didn't want to support the game, and prices aren't bad right now. So I'm gonna buy a couple more too. I already did recently, so I'm gonna keep stacking up.
Love it, love it. Love the passion here from not only the chat today, but also our guest, Matt Welsh from Raven Quest. We are going to go into the results portion of the show. Portion. I'm French today. I don't know. The results portion of the show here in just a second. We got about 2 minutes left. But Matt, if you want to do anything like basic, like your pitch, right? You don't want to call it a pitch if you want to, but basically anything coming up with Raven Quest, and just to give yourself a shout out on why you deserve an A for all these bosses. The floor is now yours.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, what we're doing is like we're building a real game. I've said it many times: game first, blockchain second. We're here to onboard the masses. We're trying to achieve the goal that everybody in the space is: onboard more players, make Web3 gaming mainstream, and we're doing that. We have Web2 gamers. We have people who've never had an NFT in their life, never had a wallet, playing the game. They enjoy it. The future's bright. We have a brilliant team. We got the Web3 advisors that we need. We have everything just to keep building. So we have a very big vision of everything we want to keep adding to build the Quest ecosystem, more games in the future. We just keep building. We love building games. We love our community. We will support our community 100%. I'm confident in what we got, and I hope you guys are too, but bright things are ahead. I can promise you that.
All right. Love that answer. Love it so much. And now, chat, it is the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's see how Matt has done across all three bosses. It's the results time, everybody.
Oh.
Totally non-copyrighted music. Now this one's gonna be a bit of an interesting one, because not much happened, but a lot happened at the same time. Let me explain what I mean. Boss number 1, Matt scored 100 out of 100. Boss number 2, Matt scored 100 out of 100 again. Chat, what do you think Matt did on boss number 3? Any guesses?
Was
Pay to
this
win.
my pirate one? No, this wasn't the pirate one. This was okay. I got you. 100 out of 100. Let's go.
Boss number 3, Matt scored 100 out of 100. He just beat it all the bosses.
Let's go.
Matt Welsh, you destroyed everybody in the room. You cleared it, one-shot it. You did a whole run blindfolded and didn't get hit once. How you feeling, my friend?
Man, I feel like $1 million. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the funnest shows I've done. Whatever you want to call it, this is great. The production's been phenomenal. appreciate the love. Yeah, you guys came prepared and made it easy for me. So shout out you guys. This is phenomenal.
You made it easy for yourself because you answered everything thoroughly. We were all blown away, and the audience was too. They have that same sentiment. They gave you 100 out of 100 on every single question, and now you will. Do we still do the trophy shit? I don't even know. we might have to. Yeah, go ahead, Robin.
Yeah, we do trophy shit. I was kidding. We're busy on this one. I'm middle management, so I don't really. I can't. I don't have a thing.
I'm a founder. I don't even know. Anyways, shout outs to you, Matt, for winning today's episode. There might be some kind of ecosystem play in the future, hint, hint, wink, wink, with the winners of this show. But that is going to do it for this week's episode. I cannot find my outro music.
I was trying to
Ramen stall. Ramen stall. Go.
Hey, look at my wing. I winked. Look, I winked.
Hey.
There it is. There it is.
Go.
Episode 56, featuring Matt from Raven Quest. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you to Matt for being here and just absolutely destroying all the bosses. Shout out to my co-host, Ramen.
Yeah.
You are always great, my friend. By the way, guys, I will be live in about 30 minutes. We're going to be doing some content piece within Catalyst. There's a new TCE coming out on a special day in this month. Special day of this month. Use the numbers. You'll figure it out. And a new Catalyst Gaming and News episode has dropped. Go to our YouTube page. We have a brand new episode of Catalyst Gaming News where we break down the latest trading topics in the gaming industry, and I'll have to make something for Raven Quest after this for sure. We'll see you guys next week, or hopefully next week. Bye-bye.
GG's. Thanks for having me.
Raven Quest Dispensary. Let's go.
Go.